So I was sitting here listening to a song this morning, and God gave me a revelation about faith. When we think about desperation, we hear the word desperation, and we think of desperation as a bad thing because desperation will have you doing anything. Like desperation is to the point, like, But I realized when I was listening to the song, I realized that we have to have a desperate faith. We have to have a desperate faith with God because a desperate faith will do anything. Will do anything for God. When you think about the woman with the issue of blood, she was so desperate. The issue that she was so desperate in it, and she knew her faith, even in her desperation, her faith told her that if I could just touch, I might not can be able to have a conversation with him. I might not be able to get a hug. I might not even be able to, he may not even see me. But if I could just touch the hem of his garment, I can be healed. And it was the desperation in her faith that led her to go and to touch. And because of her faith, God even turned around and said, who touched me? God hears the desperation too. The desperate faith God hears. God's heart is open to that desperate faith. But he recognized and said, who touched me? I felt power go from me. I felt power come from me. Who touched me? And it was her desperate faith that led her to touch and for his power to be released to her. And we know that faith the size of a mustard seed will move a mountain. So imagine what desperate faith, a faith that will do anything for God, anything to get to him, anything to whatever he says, whatever it takes, will do anything. And that's what I realize that we have to have. We have to have a desperate faith where we know there's no other option, there's no other thing, there's nothing, like nothing else works, nothing else will work but God. And I will do whatever it takes to have him. I'll do whatever it takes to have what he says I can have. I do whatever it takes for me to do for him, or for me to experience him. I'll do whatever it takes. We have to have a desperate faith because God won't despise. He won't despise it, and his power won't be withheld from it. It's that desperate faith often that will break down, that will break things down, that will receive healing, that will receive the breakthrough. It's the desperate faith. So I want to encourage y'all today to if you be desperate for anything, if you be desperate or in any way, let your faith be desperate, so much so that you'll do anything, to please God, that you'll do anything to experience him, that you'll do anything to receive him in these times.